We already have more Halloween Kills marketing. Let's talk about it. How's it going, everyone? As always, my name is Jimmy Champane, and this is the channel where it's always Halloween. If you like slashers, monsters, pretty much any movie shot during, inspired by, or set during the 1980s, this is the channel for you. This week's video is going to be a ton of fun because it's all about Halloween Kills. So in last week's video, the topic was whether or not we were going to see Halloween Kills in theaters and on VOD, or if we were just going to see it on VOD. So if you guys missed that video, basically what I predicted is that because movies like Godzilla vs. Kong and Mortal Kombat are doing so damn well in theaters, making so much money, Universal would stick with their original plan, start up the marketing right about now, and then release Halloween Kills in theaters only on October 15th before putting it on VOD 3 weeks later on Halloween night. There were so many comments on that last video, but they were all basically easily groupable into 3 different topics, so I'll address all of those in this video today. But basically, the first thing I want to talk about is that people brought up that the Forever Purge comes out over July 4th weekend, and that would probably be a pretty good time for Universal to release the trailer for their upcoming Blumhouse project Halloween Kills. And honestly, I don't really have a good argument for that. I don't think they're going to just pair up the trailer with that movie as a surprise for people to see in theaters, because again, theaters are at limited capacity. I think a lot of people are going and seeing movies multiple times, or a lot of people are seeing them overseas. So if you want to reach the widest audience with your brand new Halloween Kills trailer, attaching it to a Purge movie, not the smartest idea, I don't think, and it's actually just not something that really ever happens. But I could see them releasing the trailer online a little bit before that so that they can put it with that movie when it's in theaters. But my thinking that I'm going to stick with is that we're probably going to see it on Friday, June 11th this year, just because I went and I looked at a calendar, and that's the Friday that we got the Halloween 2018 trailer, the second Friday in June. So I'm just gonna cross my fingers and hope we get to see it then, because May is already almost over, which is crazy. But then today, I woke up and I had a billion Twitter notifications because Empire released a brand new wallpaper-worthy image of Michael Myers. Like, seriously guys, this image is really cool. I actually went ahead and cropped the image and played around with the color to make it more like a phone wallpaper. So if you need a brand new Michael Myers phone wallpaper, it's over on my Twitter, linked down in the description. And if you want my instant reaction to stuff that's going on in the horror world, follow me there and on my Instagram at Jimmy Champane, which is also linked in the description. Whenever we get new images of Michael Myers from Halloween Kills and I talk about how much I like this new charred look for the mask, I get a lot of people in the comments who are upset about that charring and how much of it there is. And now, again, after seeing it in this new picture, I gotta say, I still really like it. At its core, this mask looks like the 2018 mask, which is super cool, which also looks like the 1978 mask, which is iconic. So as far as I'm concerned, they did a really good job. They weren't really tasteful with it. Like, they could have made it look a lot more charred. We all saw Laurie's house at the end of Halloween 2018. That motherfucker was burning down, and then we see Michael Myers in the trailer on the porch of the house while it is completely engulfed in flame. I know his coveralls are flame retardant, but seriously, he should be a lot more charred than he actually is. So I'm glad that they looked at him and they said we could realistically char him and have the mask melt onto his face, but we could also just make him look really cool, and I'm glad that that's the option they went with. I know that leading up to this movie, before we saw the mask, I was like, oh, I feel like they should just make it look realistic, but I don't feel that way anymore, because after getting these images, they're just so cool that I'm like struggling not to be excited about them. Another super cool thing my friend Barry over at Wolfman's Got Nards figured out is that the way Michael is holding the knife in this image looks exactly like the hand holding a knife on the Halloween 1978 poster. I think that's a super cool little callback. I know it's probably not going to show up in the movie because this looks like a straight up promo shot from the set, but just the fact that there were people on set taking photos who are actual Halloween fans who knew how to pose Michael's hand like that just makes me so happy and so excited for this movie. Also, I'm just gonna speak for the entire Halloween fandom here for a second, say that coming out of 2018, a lot of us were worried that his hand injury, where he lost 2 fingers, would debilitate his ability to kill people in Halloween Kills, but just seeing James Jude Courtney gripping this knife with this death grip, I feel like Michael Myers is gonna be just fine on his murderous rampage. We've heard so many times how many people he's going to kill in this movie, and again, every time I say this, I'm like, man, something is wrong with me where that gets me excited, but I just don't care. I'm really excited to see Michael Myers kill some people, especially after this movie being delayed, being stuck inside for this long. It's just gonna be cathartic to see a straight up slasher movie on the big screen in the middle of October. I'm just as excited about this one as I was for 2018. Another thing I noticed about the knife in the picture is that the blood splatter on it looks a lot like the blood splatter on the knife that Allison is holding in the back of the pickup truck, and I was thinking like maybe when they're driving to Haddonfield she drops it, and when Michael's on his way there he picks it up and uses that knife in the movie. That would be kind of a like cool little callback Easter egg thing. But then I went to the Halloween 2018 ending and saw that the knives are actually different. But you know, like it could be the same knife, it also couldn't be. It seems like Haddonfield has an abundance of these butcher knives just laying around everywhere, because every time Michael loses one, he manages to just find another one. But still, if he takes Allison's knife that she's gripping at the end of the movie, I feel like that could be kind of cool. I don't know how it took me this long to see it, but there was also another image that slipped out from the producer Ryan Freeman over on his Instagram. I don't know about you guys, but to me this looks a lot like the station wagon from the beginning of Halloween 1978 that Dr. Loomis and Marion Chambers are taking up to Smith's Grove Sanatorium before Michael escapes, stealing the station wagon in the process. Now we know that after Michael stole the station wagon, he drove it to Haddonfield and kind of used it to stalk Laurie and her friends a little bit. I'm pretty sure Loomis gets it back at the end of the movie or something like that, but I'm just glad that they're going through all of this trouble to get the production looking right for the movie. I saw Haddonfield Memorial Hospital and how that looks. I've seen a lot of stuff leaked out of the flashback, and they're just doing such a good job. I know this movie had a bigger budget than Halloween 2018, which is a movie where they stretched every penny they possibly could, and I'm just happy that they're getting not only more money, but they're also stretching it just as far as they did then, because making a flashback like this is a really easy thing to screw up, but everything I've seen come out of the set from it just makes it look like they nailed it, and that is so cool. The last thing I want to focus on with the image we got today though is the tweet that came along with it over on the Empire account, which says that we will only be seeing the movie in cinemas on October 15th. I know that Empire is covering a different market of movie releases, but if Universal is saying that they're releasing it only in theaters over there on October 15th, that stands to reason that they had the same plan for the United States. So that's just a little bit more proof for what I've been saying, which I think is good. I also noticed quite a few comments on my last video from people who were still kind of confused over that deal that AMC and Universal made, where Universal will be able to release their movies on streaming 17 days after they're in theaters. And some people were like, well, they only made that deal with AMC, so they're probably not going to release Halloween Kills on Halloween. But I went and did some research, and at the end of last year, they also extended the deal to Cinemark, which is another huge theater chain. So I basically think that confirms that yes, we will be able to see Halloween Kills in theaters on October 15th, and then at the end of the month, around October 31st, we'll be able to rent or buy it to watch at home, which is like the best of both worlds, because I want to see it in theaters halfway through the month before Halloween to get me in the Halloween spirit, but then on Halloween night, I'm gonna put up my string lights, I'm gonna get all my decorations out, I'm gonna get some candy, some popcorn, maybe order some pizza or something like that, and just watch Halloween Kills and Halloween and the original Halloween all together. It's gonna be so much fun. And then following up those comments, I also saw people saying that they didn't think 3 weekends would be enough for Halloween Kills to make a bunch of money, and I'm just gonna say that most movies make all of their money in the first 2 weekends that they're in theaters, and then they clean up a little bit in the third weekend, and especially considering how many movies got delayed out of last year only to be coming out this year, especially towards the end of the year around September, October, Halloween's gonna have 2 weekends to make its money. October 15th, the weekend after, and it might clean up a little bit more around Halloween, so I feel like at the end of the day, we're gonna be fine with how much money Halloween makes, unless things get worse again, which I really hope they don't. So yeah, things are looking good for Halloween Kills. We got the trailer coming soon, we definitely have a poster coming soon, we're getting images coming out all the time now, we're gonna have the NECA toys and the Trick or Treat Studios masks. It's gonna be so awesome. We just have to have a little bit of patience. Anyway guys, make sure you let me know what you think down in the comments below about everything we talked about today, and remember to subscribe and set your notifications to all if you haven't already. As always guys, my name is Jimmy Champane, and I'll see you in the next one. Shape on.